I kind of remember on my phone, I seem to recall that there was a couple candidates in the room that had a limited amount of time to be here.
Sure.
If you're that candidate, let me know now, because we can break the pattern a little bit. Was that you, Rico?
Yes, but whoever else can do it.
Oh, are you sure?
I have like another 35 minutes or so.
Okay, cool. So we might be able to finish, I guess, with the first four, and then maybe we'll start with you instead, okay? Okay, so our next candidate is actually Billy Christensen. Where are you at? Yeah, there you go.
Billy.
Billy is actually running as Supervisor of Elections, and I actually kind of have a soft spot for that position just because there's a lot of data crunching that goes into that stuff, and so I'm very excited, and go ahead.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Guys, I'll be quick. Everybody here pretty much knows me and knows what we're running on. For the camera, I'm Billy Christensen. I'm running for Hillsborough County Supervisor of Elections. I deeply appreciate the endorsement. Thank you for the support. Let's just be clear. If you don't believe that we're under attack after last weekend, then your head is in the sand. And when I tell you that our elections are under attack, under the same way, they are. All right, in this county, we have the 58,000 data breach, we have the blank ballots, we have a supervisor who refuses to provide any data as to what's going on. It's concerning. These are those people. All right, this is why I'm involved. After 9/11, I felt the same way I feel right now. And I was on the first airplane into theater, okay? And that pride still resonates. And I feel that what everyone in this room is doing right now in 20 years when we reflect, you're gonna remind yourself that you're on the front lines on this fight, all right? And it starts with our elections. If we can't have fair and secure elections, nothing we do matters. It starts right here. That's why I'm doing it, okay? We can trust that at least here in Hillsborough County, we're gonna have secure, transparent, safe elections, and that we know that the outcomes are as to be what they are to be. Okay? I'm gonna leave it at that. Any questions?
Ooh, wow. Ooh. I guess I do have a question.
Yeah, I'm not in a primary, so I don't wanna suck up any energy right now. We're in the general elections. We're on the ballot.
That's true.
Yeah, which is exciting, yeah, and we
Yeah.
can say that for the camera too. This man is on the ballot for
Yeah.
the election for
And
the general, so.
We need everybody's vote, and for all these countywide, this is not said enough. For all the countywide positions, these countywide races require more votes than the 10 state governorships in our country.
Yeah.
So more votes than the governor of Montana, for example. So these are the size of races that we're running here locally. They impact your life more so than these national level races. So pay attention, educate yourself on your candidate, make sure your vote counts, get out and vote. So yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and for the camera too, I'll just kind of quickly share, by 2050, Hillsborough County is one of 3 counties in the state of Florida that is projected to grow by 750,000 people, so it is only gonna become more important for these countywide races, so just saying that for the camera. And then, my question actually, I kind of crunched numbers, whenever they were doing the election integrity stuff for the Trump and Biden election, just to kind of run a few of the different, I guess, auditing and stuff that they had for those elections. And somewhat unrelated to that, I guess I was going to ask, what sort of auditing for the elections are going to be built in if you get elected?
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah.
So, and you'll hear the current supervisor, I'm gonna call him my opponent because we're smoking him right now. They like to say we conducted these elections and they were audited by all these third party, whatever, you know, or these internal. They'll never give you details. It's all glassed over, and that's supposed to reassure everybody that these things are done. What I'll tell you is we're going to follow the law, national, federal, state, local laws. And we have to conduct the elections accordingly, and whatever those are, we have to abide, and we will do so. And part of that is there is some embedded audit requirements that will be conducted. But beyond that, we're gonna have quarterly town halls, election-based town halls, and I wanna find what the community feels is the best form for a third-party audit. That the community would say, that, yeah, we would believe this, because that's what matters. Like if I pick something, you know, anybody that disagrees with me was just automatically gonna assume that this audit is inherently flawed because I chose the company, right? So I wanna get a kind of a consensus within the community, like, what is the best option? Cause this is our elections, it's not theirs or individual groups, it's our elections. And it's your voice, it's our community's voices. Everybody wants their voice heard. I haven't heard, I think 93% of the country wants a fair and secure election. It's probably the one unifying issue in the country right now. I don't know where these other 7% people are. They're obviously the ones on the roof, right? That's where we are. I wanna remind everybody, that is where we are.
They're on the roof.
Right?
That's
So
true.
we are, it's a reality. Let's keep that in perspective. What we are doing right now is much more important than anything we ever thought it would be. So I wanna applaud everyone in this room to continue to do this. It's very, very important what we are all doing. Yes, sir. Rico.
Hey, so, in regard to what took place a few months ago when Latimer went before the county commission and some of that money was given back to the board, pulled away, right? And I know Commissioner Walsall spearheaded that, yeah. So what was the fault there? What did he do wrong? What was his misstep at? And then obviously what would you do differently going forward with that?
That's a good question. And, man, I could dig into that. So what Rico's question was, a couple months ago, $200,000 was recalled essentially by the commission from the Supervisor of Elections $15 million budget, very small fraction. And that was based on the amount of reduction in voter registrations in the county. They had to go through a series of essentially state mandated audits on their voter rolls, and it cleaned up the audit. So Commissioner Walsall was making the point, like, if you lost 100,000 voters off your voter logs, he did some math and he came up with this seemingly, number, arbitrary number, but stuff of $200,000. And it was a big to-do. You can go see, the community, some community support came out in favor of the SOE. The SOE himself came out before the board and pleaded their case about how important this money was. But here's the catch. In 2020, Mr. Latimer took $2.9 million from Mark Zuckerberg, an unaccountable grant.
God's the worst.
Alright? So he refuses to provide an accounting of how that money was spent. So number one, how can you throw a fit about $200,000 when you've taken $2.9 million from an unaccountable grant from Zuckerberg of all people, right?
Yeah.
There's that issue. Number two, all one needs to do is walk outside and eventually you're gonna see a sign, a piece of a flyer, a pen, something on the building with Craig Latimer's name. And he also likes to say, recipient of the Governor Sterling Award. Let me just tell everyone, that award was won nearly a decade ago, alright? That's like me telling you I was captain of my high school team, and say, vote for me because of that. That's how ridiculous this is. But he's wasting taxpayer money, and I've done the math, just on the pens.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, he's bought almost 1.5 million pens that say
Jeez.
Craig Latimer, Supervisor of Elections, right? And they hand them out everywhere. They could just say Supervisor of Elections, because when he loses, now I've got to go get rid of $1.5 million. Right?
Well done.
So this guy's complaining about $200,000 when I can pick apart your budget, Craig, probably to the tune of a 30% instantly, and give it back to the taxpayers, and run a safer and more secure election. That's how ridiculous the situation is in our elections office, right? Don't get me started on the illegal immigration in the office, or in the county right now. That's a whole nother element, which goes into
Yes.
how much money of our budget are you allocating to ensuring, and I just put out a memo to the county commission and to every senior elected official in the county, essentially, asking, what is the county doing to ensure that people that are registering to vote are in fact citizens and not either legal aliens or illegal immigrants? I want to know, because if you don't believe that our elections are under attack, again, I guess we're on a different page right now, Any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
Billy, was there any more resolution to the data breach?
No, absolutely not. And I kind of glossed over that. There was a data breach. We're the first and only elections data breach in Florida elections, or Florida history. 58,000 voters had their data stolen out of his office. He has not provided an update.
Yeah.
Ongoing criminal investigation.
I think I got a letter, it was one of me, I was
You were-
one of
you
them,
were part of- yeah.
yeah.
That's
There's
right, you
gonna
got
be-
that, I remember that.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for the lawsuits to start kicking in, because then we'll start getting, maybe then we'll get some detail, but it's been over a year now, there hasn't been a single update. And I'm an intelligence professional by trade. And I worked at US Central Command for a decade, and that facility alone faces 20 to 30,000 cyber attacks on a daily basis. Our election office is probably under that same kind of threat. They got attacked one time that they know of, and they cannot resolve a single attack. God bless our elections right now, because that's the only thing protecting you. I promise you. It's that serious. And when all of you guys have our race and you lose magically by 200 votes or out of the million, right?
65.
And you wonder why.
Yep,
And it's happened to people in this room.
sure does.
And you don't wanna be on the back end of that, because once it's validated, it's almost impossible to undo it, and they know that. So, you wanna win, we all wanna win. You'll know that if I'm the supervisor, as a candidate especially, that the outcome will be as to be, right? There's no funny business. You cannot, Craig can't say that. Did you know there was 21,000 blank ballots cast in 2020?
Yeah.
21,000 voters had their votes disenfranchised. So everybody in here should ask Greg Latimer, prove to me your vote counted. He can't.
The machine changed.
He cannot prove it. There's 21,000 blank ballots. Where are they? Until you can show those, he cannot tell you for a fact that your vote counted. All right? That's how serious this is. So again, I was trying to be short. Sorry.
We asked a bunch of questions, so.
Yeah.
Come see
That's
us.
it. I think that was it. I got 2, 3 questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.